Solving quadratic equations by completing the square. If you cannot solve the quadratic equation using the first two methods, which is extracting the square root or the factoring, you can use this method since this is also referred as the mother of all methods in solving any quadratic equation. And our given problem here is x squared plus 2x minus 4 equals 0. The first step is to divide both sides of the equation by a, then simplify. But in this case, since the value of a, our a here is equal to 1, since as you can see, this is our a here, the numerical coefficient of the quadratic term. Since it is 1, we can now skip step 1 and proceed with step 2. So for step 2, we need to write the equation such that the terms with variables are on the left side of the equation and the constant term is on the right side. So let's write here x squared plus 2x. So I need to eliminate this negative 4 here. We must have the constant term on our right side. So we're going to have here positive 4. Now, how did it become a positive 4? Since we apply a PE, we added 4 on both sides of the equation. So we had now eliminated the constant term and then positive 4 appeared on the right side. Next, we're going to put here some blank. So for x squared plus 2x plus blank, since I put a blank on the left side, I must also do that on the right side. Next, what value should be put on this blank? So we're going to have a formula there, b over 2, then the square root of that. Identifying b, if you know how to identify b here is positive 2. So I'll be using positive 2. So instead of here plus 2. So change b to 2 over 2 squared. And then 2 over 2 will give you 1 squared. And then 1 squared is equals to 1. So now 1 is our value for the blank. So I'm going to write here plus x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 4 plus 1. Again, the added number on the left side should also be the number added on the right side. Remember that. Okay, the next thing you will do is to transform this perfect square trinomial. Actually, this is a perfect square trinomial, x squared plus 2x plus 1. We need to transform this into a square of binomial. So we're going to have here x plus 1, right? Or the square root of x plus 1. And how can I easily get that? Just look at the value of b, which is 2, and then divide that by 2. 2 divided by 2 will give you 1. So that's why we have here the square root of x plus 1 equals 4 plus 1. So we need to now go on the right side and then simplify 4 plus 1, which will give us 5. Next, the next step, or the fifth step, is to use extracting the square root. We're going to get the square root of both sides. So let's put here square root. So since this is squared and then we have here squared here, we can now cancel this out. We can eliminate the radical sign. And what appears here is x plus 1 equals. But again, by applying extracting the square root, you could have here two possible values, which is positive, negative square root of 5. Next, we can now apply addition property of equality. So we have here x equals, putting this, since we need to look for the value of x, we could have here negative 1 plus minus square root of 5. So now this is our solutions for this kind of problem. X equals negative 1 plus square root of 5 or negative 1 minus square root of 5.